and we welcome you home. I am the Communications Director for Food Sovereignty Ghana, and we're a small NGO. We stand for social justice. So we stand for many, many different issues. It's just that right now, the flagship issue that we're dealing with is the one of genetically modified foods and how it's being, almost forcefully being imposed on the Ghanaian people. Currently, as we speak, over 90% of Ghanaians have no idea what genetically modified organisms are. Yet in 2011, our parliament passed a bill to pave the way for biosafety and genetic engineering to happen in Ghana. We keep saying that this whole genetic modified agriculture agenda is a foreign one. The initiative is from outside Ghana. It is not a locally based initiative. And it goes to show in the manner in which it's coming in the manner in which the laws are copied and pasted, the manner in which the lobbying and the funding all goes to show that this is not something that is in the interest of Ghana, but other nations, other peoples who have interests have forcefully lobbied and placed this thing, and now the government is considering releasing genetically modified cowpeas and rice into our agricultural system. Just recently, Ghana was researching genetically modified cotton, and Monsanto has recently pulled out of the funding because in Burkina Faso, the country just north of us, they've had a 5-year disaster with genetically modified cotton. And now they phased out GM cotton because GM cotton provided less of a yield. So they never realized those yields that Monsanto promised. The quality of the fiber was poor. It was a shorter quality fiber. So now Burkina has officially phased out GM cotton. Right. This means that in Ghana here, we shouldn't have been looking at GM cotton in the first place. But even as we speak, Monsanto has just pulled out the funding because they realize that they are likely to face the same obstacle as they've realized in Burkina. But Food Sovereignty has been saying this for about 3-4 years since we started in 2013, that the whole GM agenda is one that is being pushed from outside, and we Ghanaians and we Africans need to think for ourselves. And the issue of food is so personal to humanity that it's not something that we need to concede any space on. We all gathered here because we're all progressive-minded people. We all realize the experience that our people have had across this planet, the injustice, the unfairness. If the issue of food becomes a business, then literally this is the end of life and humanity. It's the end of your plans, the end of your children's future. It's the end of you if you wake up one morning and have to wait to get a seed to plant from somebody who is profit-oriented. And this is the path that they're trying to lead all African countries to go. So Food Sovereignty Ghana has been very principled in our position. We've been opposed to this, what we call illegal imposition. When we speak to many parliamentarians, they will concede that, oh yes, I agree, organic food is better. But what they find comfort in is that, well, the law has been passed. So if you want to fight this thing, you have to fight and repeal the law. But they're only able to manifest in this way because the people of Ghana have no idea. You see, they came through the back door. But if they had to speak to all of you, have to consult the mothers and the fathers, the taxi drivers, there's no way that would be at this point with GM in Ghana. So it's important that all of us, increase our advocacy, tell our brothers and sisters, our families, because it's very obvious in the West, the demand for organic food is growing. It's almost double and tripling in certain places. So I'm sure you all know how much you pay to drink organic orange juice and to eat an organic pawpaw and eat an organic mango. But here we haven't realized that. And you see, if Ghana is to be strategic, the way Dubai has been strategic, the way Singapore has been strategic, ours is to concentrate on the agro-business and to build an agricultural empire that will feed this growing demand for organic food. Or are we not seeing right? Isn't the way forward to concentrate and create what is already in demand, which is organic food? So we won't even have enough orders. I mean, we'd have too many orders for organic cashews, organic mangoes, organic pawpaw, organic coconut from all over the world. So it's very, very important that we increase the education, because it's ignorance that has allowed this status quo to exist. It's ignorance that has allowed parliamentarians to just copy and paste laws. Literally, if you look at a law that's been imported, 3.1A states this. If you look at the one in Ghana, 3.1A states exactly the same thing. They don't read the laws, they don't understand the implications of these laws. And so we are wondering, what is it about our leadership that is not able to make the same informed decisions that has informed the government of Germany and of Holland and of Greece and of France and of Russia to ban the growth of genetically modified organisms within their territorial boundaries? Don't Ghanaian children also deserve the same assured and secure future as all these countries who are being visionary and taking this decision now? And in whose interest is it that about 60 to 80% of your livelihood, your small-scale holder farmers, will depend on a multinational, profit-oriented company to provide them seeds? So some of you traveled to Brong-Ahafo, I'm sure you went through the central region, all those remote areas where you saw big green fields and land as far as the eye could see. In the future, if this plan is successful, a farmer walking with his dog and a bag with his machete can never plant food without having to go and buy the seed from a business entity. With all that land, that rainfall, the black soil, the sunshine, literally, this is the highest form of slavery. They've tampered with your religion, they've tampered with your names. Now, when they tamper with your food, this is one of the last connections you have to your creator, your maker. So the issue about genetically modified organisms is not one to be toyed about. In fact, if you ask me, it is the most important issue that progressive people on this planet need to deal with. Because within this issue of genetically modified engineering and agriculture lies the problems that Africa faces altogether. The lack of vision, the compromise of the leaders, the inability to be sovereign, all within that little seed. So this is the most important issue we need to be dealing with, and yet when you look at our people, we are so engulfed with the Real Madrid and the Chelsea and all sorts of things that have no impact on our lives. But as they say in Ghana, fili right under our noses, they're sweeping the carpet away, and very soon we'll have all the black soil in the world, we'll have all the water running from the Volta Lake, and we won't be able to feed ourselves. And this is a most dire situation that we should realize we are standing in the middle of it right now. Some of you have visited Ghana for a few days, maybe a week. You may have heard of this issue of galamsey, which is this illegal mining and how it is ruining the lands and destroying the rivers. So we have been warning that if we're not careful, the next national disaster is going to be this issue of what genetically modified organisms does to our land and what those poisonous chemicals do to the animals, the herbs, and the rivers. So currently Ghana imports products from Monsanto like Roundup. And Roundup has been declared carcinogenic because the main ingredient, glyphosate, is a carcinogen. And recently the state of California, in an unprecedented move, had a court to make official that you need to label any ingredient, any product that has glyphosate on it needs to be labeled carcinogenic. So what is it that doesn't inform our stakeholders to stop importing these products, to keep them away from our rivers and our children? There are areas in Ghana where men and women and farmers are impotent because the manner in which they interact with these chemicals, they've not been taught, they've not been given the right education. Some of them even taste it with their fingers to see if it's strong enough to spray. So we're talking about an integrated business that is being presented to us to destroy us in the seed, in the chemical, and then the negative implications from there. So there's lots of people who have to speak here. Please visit www.foodsovereigntyghana.org. Read about what we put out there, because don't believe the hype. There's lots of money on the other side. Unfortunately, we are a very small NGO. We don't even have an office. We work from a laptop. But we're very proud of the work we've been able to do. And we should all put our hands on board and protect our motherland. We celebrated Mother's Day a few weeks ago, but our greatest mother is the earth. So let's all put our hands together and let's stop listening to the hype and protect our future. Thank you very much.